Hi guys, I'm out at the range today and I'm going to try out some of this RWS rifle match ammunition. My local gun shop got some of this in. It's not inexpensive ammunition, $9.49, and it's from the RWS professional line. They have several different lines of 22 rimfire ammunition. And this one is sort of the second from the top level. There's one grade higher than this one. And they recommend this cartridge for training and competition. So we've got a 40 grain solid lead bullet. Usual warnings on there. Dangerous within 1 mile. And 50 cartridges in the box, of course, as you would expect. And we got the usual sort of warnings and comments about non-corrosive priming and lead exposure and all that sort of stuff. So we've got a cardboard box with a plastic tray, and inside the plastic tray you have the individual rounds. Fairly standard looking. The bullet has a kind of a greasy, waxy lubricant on it, which is kind of standard for target type ammunition. Anyway, we're going to try this today through the Norinco NS522, which is a rifle which has proven to be quite accurate. And I'm going to shoot a couple of other types of target velocity ammunition as well, just as a bit of a control to compare this ammunition to. So we're going to get right at that. So I'm going to shoot some SK Standard Plus ammunition as kind of a control round, because I know this shoots pretty decently, and I've got a bunch of this stuff. So that's what we're going to try next, just to give a similar type of product a try, so we have something to compare this RWS ammunition to. Well, I'm back home from the range, and I thought I'd pull a bullet out of one of these rounds just to see what it weighed. And here is the victim. Pulled it apart. It got a bit scarred up in the process of being pulled out, but you can see it looks like a fairly standard 22 caliber bullet. It has a diameter of 2 to 3.5 roughly on the full diameter portion. And on the hollow base it is 2 to 1. Now these weigh a little bit more than the 40 grains which the box proclaims. This particular bullet weighs 41.2 grains, so that's a fairly heavy bullet, but I can only assume that they must all weigh a similar amount. Perhaps that extra weight is a result of the lubricant that's on these. I'm not too sure. So that's what the bullet looks like. And we'll have a look at the cartridge case itself. And there's the head stamp, a little shield with an R in it for RWS. And we've got a nice big glob of green priming compound in there. That's always a good sight to see. I'm always happy to see 22 ammunition with lots of priming compound, because generally that means it will be good, reliable ammunition. So nothing too extraordinary about either the bullet or the cartridge case. And just in case we forgot what it looked like, here's a loaded round with the sort of sticky wax grease lubricant on the bullet. So we'll move on next to some of the targets. Actually only shot a couple of targets because I had a limited amount of time before it got dark. And as luck would have it, I forgot my regular targets at home, and I scrounged around in the trunk of my car and I had these rat targets. And initially I tried shooting at the rat without having a particular aiming point. So I just held the crosshairs, trying to use the ear and go halfway up on the rat. But that was not as good as having a distinctive aiming point. You can see this was actually the SK Standard Plus ammunition that I was using as a comparative or a control ammunition. There's the first group I fired with it, and it was actually rather large. And this is the second rat target that I shot the RWS rifle match ammunition at. And it's not too bad of a group, but once again I didn't have a distinctive holding point on this target. So I went back to my vehicle and I dug around and I got some of these white patches, and I used a white patch as an aiming point, and that worked out really well. The black background with a white aiming point made for quite precise holding. So this is the group with the RWS ammunition at 50 yards, and that is a 10-shot group, and it measures 0.751 inches. So that's a pretty respectable group. That works out to about 1.5 minutes of angle, thereabouts. So I'm pretty pleased with that, and that is of course out of the Norinco NS522. And by way of a comparison, I shot a group once again with the SK Standard Plus ammunition. Did the same thing with it. Tried once with no particular aiming point other than holding in the middle of the black, and then switched over to using a white aiming point, which gave much better results. So there's 10 rounds of the that SK Standard Plus ammunition, and it came in at 0.956 of an inch, once again at 50 yards out of the Norinco. So not bad, but the RWS certainly outperformed the SK in this particular rifle. Of course, this is far from an exhaustive test. I only used part of a box of ammo, and I would like to try this in a few other different rifles, but I only had the one box of ammunition with me and a limited amount of time. So the future might see a little more testing with this ammunition, but it certainly does seem to be good, accurate ammunition. Of course, being target velocity, it's also fairly quiet too, so that's always a plus to have quiet shooting ammunition. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk to you later.